Yes, welcome everyone watching on the Temptations Beach Facebook page, the High Noon Hemp Show, every Wednesday at noon. Welcome to Season 2. I am Joe Clare, live from Hemp Quarters. The man himself, Beach. How's it going, Beach?
It's going good. It's going good. Welcome everyone. My partner in crime over there said, Joe Clare, this is Season 2, episode 1 of Season 2.
Yes.
Switch it up a little bit.
However you want to put it.
However you want to put it, and we're making up all our rules here. And so if you're really paying attention, mark it down. You are now participating in episode 1 of Season 2 of the High Noon Hemp Show. Every Wednesday at high noon, right here on Temptations Beach Facebook page. I got links to that everywhere.
Absolutely. Just for the show last week, of course, if you weren't watching last week, we got the call from the executive vice president of the network announcing that we were renewed for Season 2. We were very excited.
Yeah, we weren't sure there going into the last minute negotiations.
That's right.
Although I do think we should have negotiated a week off. So I feel like maybe in next season's negotiations, we may actually take a week off in between seasons.
That'd be a good idea.
Because it does
to reset. Their
that's
love
right
for the show.
That's right. This feels more like episode 13 than season 1 of episode 1 of season 2, and so we're like we say, we're making it up as we go along, folks. I hope you enjoy it. No, I think this week I was just talking about. I posted a second newsletter. Did you get the newsletter yesterday? Email by the chance? I didn't. I said it was supposed to come out, and I don't know if I saw it.
I don't think I
check.
did.
Oh man, I think there's a glitch there somewhere. Anyway, part of that was supposed to be a hemp for the holidays kind of thing, because I think hemp makes a great gift for the holidays, because it's environmentally friendly. And so at the very least, that the gift that you're giving is doing something good for the planet as well as for the person. We have a multitude of gifts to choose from. And so if you can't find something in Temptations for a holidays gift, and I say this because once again, I respect all of the holidays, and Hanukkah starts next Tuesday or something.
Oh wow!
And so the literal holiday season is upon all of us that just kind of say, hey, I respect all the holidays that happen this time of year. Let me know when they're all over so I can get back to going out in public and driving on the roads and not going into anything that would have even a smidgering of retail.
Absolutely.
Although I beg you to crowd those roads coming to Temptations as well. But anyway, it's a crazy time of year. I'm glad that. A lot of people participate in all these different holidays that we have in about a 1 month time period. And so, is what it is. But I do think, once again, that finding a gift that is not just good for the person that you're giving it to, but the planet. Sorry, I tried to stick my hand in front of the camera again.
New for season 2.
And so, yeah, that's right. Check out my iPhone watch. This is not an advertisement for Apple products. And so, finding that perfect hemp gift for that perfect hemp friend or loved one or earth-friendly person that you drew in the office pool, and need to find a good gift that would be appropriate for an earth-friendly person. And so we have all that stuff at Hemptations. And of course, if you are not in the Hemptations area, and I apologize that we don't have a lot of those products on our retail site right now, go online and think of, hey, just type in Google hemp, whatever you want to find for your friend, and see what's out there, see what's available, go to their website, support the hemp industry that way. This show is not just about pimping one big long commercial for Hemptations, although sometimes it seems that way.
Only partially.
I am about it. It's only partially. Only because I am high above the Hemp Quarters store. No,
that's right. It'd be weird if we didn't talk about Hemptations.
That's right. But my goal is to get hemp products in the hands of everyone and, go out, find them online. There are plenty of hemp goods online. You can get shipped to your door and wrap up yourself if you want. I don't wrap gifts either. I used to for a long time use the funny pages. I used to save the funny pages from the newspaper that I got for whatever reason, which seems weird, and then I would use that. But now it just comes in a you're lucky if I give you a shouldn't say that, my kids and stuff, I usually just hand them this hemp bag. It's a hemp grocery bag full of stuff for them, and they can keep the hemp bag. Anyway, it's good stuff, and it makes good gifts. So we endorse it. That being said, it's been a little while, maybe 4 years ago, we came up with this. It's Hemptationsville Holidays commercial. Now, the first version has the words to what became the final cut of the commercial. And you'll see, and I did this on purpose, I kind of intentionally covered up the third address on the graphic because that store is not open anymore.
Yes, I did notice that.
And we've added a couple since then. And so that is actually intentional out there for all my advertising and video geeks. I have intentionally covered that up and done that. And then the second version was a version that we thought about putting out there. There is one slight edit. It doesn't have the words above it. And you guys can watch it and see if you can catch the difference between the first version with the words and the second version without the words. And see why it might have been a little controversial. See if you can catch it. So here it is. This is and we have two of these, and we'll probably play the next one next week, which is a different one, a little different. But here is the first Hemptationsville Holidays commercial, a double dose.
There we go. A little something to get you in the holidays mood.
That's right. Spot the difference.
Make a shopping dash. Come rate Hemptation stash. You're sure to find great hemp gifts while saving lots of cash. So have some cheer, get in here, everybody get along. The holidays happen once a year, it's 420 all year long.
Are you having Hemptations? For 20 years. Having Hemptations for 20 years.
It's that time of year for shopping day and night. Hemptations for the holidays will make your pipes burn bright. Make a shopping dash. Come rate Hemptation stash. You're sure to find great hemp gifts while saving lots of cash. So have some cheer, get in here, everybody get along. The holidays happen once a year, it's 420 all year long.
Are you having Hemptations?
For 20 years.
Having Hemptations for 20 years.
So there you go.
So there you go. There's actually a couple differences I noticed, because the first one that I will give everyone, if they were paying attention to the differences, were actually the outfits. And I just noticed that the outfits we wore in the first commercial that ran were the final outfits too, because my shirt says hemp on it, which is true to life. If you look, hemp on now. There's usually some reference to hemp on my shirt. The second one, the one that was kind of controversial, if you caught it. Did you catch it when what I think was a little controversial?
I don't know. Did somebody yell bong at some point?
There was. That is absolutely correct. I figured that your ear would hear that. What was supposed to happen when we were singing it, and we had the whole Temptations, we had half the Temptations crew up here at the Funitorium, and so it was actually probably a half a dozen to 8 of us singing up here to actually sing that. And so I want you to know that that's who that is singing. Originally, what I really wanted to do is, as we were singing along, because that's how that ends. Why doesn't everybody just get along? The hidden bong sound, so to speak, or word, was supposed to be actually like one person out of the 8 of us saying that word underneath all of the along. So one person saying a bong, and the other 7 or so, 8 of us are saying along. We just never got that take, and I didn't, for the fact of being just way too blatant. Again, I was kind of trying to hide it, obviously. We didn't go with the second version where they edit it as a single, they'd added it on the end. I love it. I think that there's got to be, I think there's a musical instrument out there that some people might call a bong. I'm making no reference to an illegal product. If you get that impression,
it's your problem.
But anyway, and so yes, next week we'll run the second year Hemptationsville Hemptations Holidays commercial, and so yeah, there you have it.
Right.
Now we can. I'm sorry, I'm doing a little arm thing here, but I'm actually turning off the heater. I bet that's loud. I don't know if you guys notice it. It gets cold in my little corner.
Yes.
It gets cold in my little corner.
It's cold, that's for sure.
The hemp quarters. So I'm a little heater. Instead of wasting heating up the whole Funitorium, I kind of keep that a little chillier, and then I kind of just have my heater back here because I think that's more efficient. Anyway, let's move on to the product. Just combined a word there. Product sounds like something that would be on a Saturday Night Live skit.
Also here for season 2.
Let's go. Let's go move on to the product spotlight. 4 from the store, 1 from my door, as I like to say. So the first product that we carry in the stores and have been carrying for a little while, probably almost as long as they've been around, are the dime bags. And the dime bags come in many different sizes. These are the backpacks that we just happen to have in stock at the Sharonville location as of today. Different stores would have different colors and different things. There are other sizes of the dime bags that we have too. These guys do a really good job of making, a multi-compartment, fun, efficient bag. And I know the world loves the dime bags, and our customers love the dime bags. And so we'll probably be getting a fresh order of dime bags in any day soon, which of course would make a great holiday gift. And so moving on to the next one, this is something that I mentioned that we got in, and I don't know if I even ever posted a picture, but this is officially the lineup of the current Hemptations branded lip balm that we have in the stores. 8, or I should say 7 different flavors with a natural beeswax. A couple of these are 95% organic. Some of them are an SPF, as you can see, 15. Some of the flavors are all natural. And so we will be growing the flavors. Hopefully about once a month, maybe getting in new flavors. So I'll keep everybody abreasted when those new flavors come in. But let's get the 5 facts for the brain unit on it. If you've ever seen the Hemptations trailer, that's what I call it, 5 facts for the brain unit. And they're all hemp facts that are actually on the lip balm itself as well. Trying to educate as much as I can everywhere I can, as we all know. So of course the Hemptations, anything Hemptations branded is going to have some facts on it. I mean, even if they're in like the tiniest letters, and you got to get a microscope to find it. There will be some hemp facts on
It'd be worth
anything that has the name Hemptations on it. I can almost hopefully guarantee it. Moving on to this is kind of a fun product. We don't sell a lot of this. I'm not even sure if this product exists anymore, but I know that some of the stores may have some of this in them. But it's the Tropicals hemp cat litter. Now, basically, I think that, when we also have the what they call the herd or the shiv, which is the hempcrete material in stock, it's kind of a bigger bale. I think you can kind of use that, as animal bedding. The hemp stalk, the outside, which again, the industry likes to call it herd. There is no word herd. Yes, you heard that. Herd is not a farming term. It's anciently, I believe they called it the shiv, possibly. I know John's out there watching right now, and I'm sure he probably knows. But it is commonly in the industry called the herd of the stalk, which is what basically falls down when they are breaking it down for the fiber, and it makes a great animal bedding. It is the ingredient that they add to the hempcrete as well, and all kinds of other things. And so here's some cat litter that is made of that. This probably somehow, I'm not sure where this came from, but it was definitely before we were actually growing here, which is kind of funny because now I bet there is a lot of this material out there sitting in barns. In fact, I remember touring a barn not too long ago that had a lot of the herd, or the shiv, out there. And so anyway, there you have that. And the last product is one of the newer CBD products. These guys, I really like, and I picked up their line because they have a hemp-based CBD oil. So the CBD is basically in the hemp seed oil. They also have a water soluble, so you can drop it into any liquid and get your dose that way. The MCT, which is one of the more common bases to use, which is a anyway, it's a triglycerol. It's one of the good ones. Multi-chain triglycerol usually comes from coconut, and again, these are all still sublingual. The hemp oil, you could put in anything you'd want to make a hemp oil salad dressing if you really wanted to. Add a little of that to anything you use hemp seed oil for. Obviously, the water soluble can go in anything. MCT is best, honestly, just put it right underneath the tongue and do a slow absorption there. And obviously, the vape drip, that's for a vape, which is between sublingual, which is underneath the tongue, and the vape. Those are the two fastest ways to get it into the blood system. And so that's why that's why there's two different ways to ingest it: directly into the blood, sublingual, vape, any type of edible that you actually chew on, like gum or a mint that you actually suck on to absorb into the mouth, or an actual edible where you eat it, and then that's slow absorption. So you're going to get a slower absorption into your system. But anything digestive related, then that would be the better way to actually bring the CBD into your system. So anyway, there's 4 from the store. Mm-hmm. Now 1 from my door, which is something that I acquired just recently, which I believe this is actually 2 hemp products right now. But when I got it, it was only 1 hemp product. But this is a hemp plastic lighter holder. We carry the hemp wick here, and so you can see it holds the hemp wick. So this is 2 hemp products in a sense that you have the hemp plastic grown. This is made from Kentucky grown hemp, and the hemp wick, which is a safer way to light something. When you light with butane, then you're ingesting the butane directly. If you light the hemp wick and then light with the hemp wick, you're not ingesting any chemicals. Hopefully. You shouldn't be anyway. We can only hope.
Indeed.
Because you just never know sometimes. So there you have it, folks. That's the product spotlights for this week. And four, like I said, four from the store, one from my door. And now I'll let my man bring us into what he calls, and what we can only hope the internet believes is the best part of the show.
It's just not me. It's everyone. Everyone is clamoring for more of this segment. I see them clamor all over the internet for it.
Clamor.
All over Facebook.
Well, we gotta love clamoring. Yeah,
It is
I love
time
it.
for beachwear. What are you wearing today, Beach?
What are you wearing, Beach? Well, today everyone will be happy to know, from head to toe, that I have on this is a Voboom hat. This is supposed to be hemp linen on the back part of the hat there. And then a hemp hoodlam jacket. We know again, today is a Wednesday. I think this might be one of the last Wednesdays that we see Kentucky basketball being played on Wednesday. So
Nice.
the theme is Kentucky basketball blue. And so that's kind of why I have the one of my favorite hemp hoodies on. I wear this hoodie a lot, regardless. But that's a little zip up, and they, again, the hemp hoodlam has some secret pockets, and they've got the faux lamb on the inside, so it's very, very comfortable to the skin. And I love them as a winter jacket. They make some great winter jackets. Then I've got the Hemptations University printed here at Planet Everywhere. Young Maven T-shirt. My pants are Patagonia. Actually, these are a semi-older pair of Patagonia pants that I've had for a decent amount of time. They have like a button fly and a tie, and luckily they have a tie because I got the extra large, and I'm actually, I guess, only a large. So if you're a 36 waist large, if they do it that way in a Patagonia pant, but very, very comfortable, light kind of weight. They've got the the Hemptopia boxer briefs, so to speak. These hug really tight, so I'd call them more of a brief than a boxer brief, but I guess it's still a boxer brief because it's long. I don't know how that works. The Satori hemp leaf socks that obviously go with the Kentucky Blue theme, and the Adidas Sambas. And those are, maybe 10 years old, those Sambas, maybe, I'm guessing.
Well,
So if you woke up this morning and you said, "What are you wearing, Beach?"
now you know.
Now you know.
Go Big
Now
Blue.
you know. Go Big Blue. They're struggling more than I thought they would, but that is a different subject for a different show.
Well, we could add a sports report.
So
that might be something to think about. A hemp sports report.
I could come up with any excuse to talk about Kentucky because of Kentucky hemp, and so if we have to segue it to Kentucky basketball, we'll work that out anyway. Oh, good stuff. All right, well, there we have it. Now you know. What am I wearing? And now we will move on to the hemp news part of it. The hemp road trip. I know he's out doing his thing. Rick runs all over the country. This week he kind of segues. I did see him doing some hemp road trip documentary stuff. I mentioned it in last week's show. I think he's going from one coast all the way to the 50th state in a matter of a week. Because he's headed out to the Hawaii Hemp Conference, which is going on December 1st in Honolulu. So if you happen to be close to Honolulu or, in California, it's kind of a hop, skip, and a jump, you head out to the Hawaii Hemp Conference. Some of the big new voices, great voices for industrial hemp, Morris Spiegel, Doug Fine. Oops, guess who didn't mute their phone? Man, 13 episodes into this thing, and I just still learning. Anyway,
Something new for season 2.
that's right. Doug Fine, Rick, and a handful of other great participants in the hemp world are going to be there. So again, it's as good excuse as any to go to Hawaii. I can tell you that.
There you go.
Place I wouldn't mind going, but yet haven't gone to. I feel like just being so close to literally active volcanoes at any given moment, it's just kind of scary. Not the fact that you're on an island out in the middle of nowhere, but is what it is. Maybe someday I'll make it to Hawaii. Maybe someday I won't. It's hard to say. I want to go to New Zealand too, and that's a nice big island. And so, anyway, if you're in Hawaii, go to the Hawaii Hemp Conference. Those guys are all doing good things for the name of industrial hemp. Hawaii's been, I'm pretty sure, growing kind of smaller scale. They've been positive for a while, and so I think they're kind of trying to work into the Agricultural Act and all of that stuff too. And so kudos to them for embracing the plant for all its purposes, for that matter. The December 4th and the 5th. December 4th, you've got a Hempcrete event in Vermont from Hemp Technologies. December 5th, you have a Hempcrete event in Massachusetts. So you can go to Hemp Tech Global. That's HempTechGlobal.com and register for those. Find more information about those events. I've been talking about the Kathmandu event. So, that's February 1st and 2nd. And that is actually kind of, I've been talking about it for a while, but that's pretty close. And so another reason to fly around the world. Again, there will be some globally educated industrial hemp people participating in that event. You can go to hemptoday.net and get information for that, as well as the Deep Green Building event that's going on in Poland in the latter part of February. And that is, again, this information is up on the second page, on the About page of our website. And so you can go and check that, and I try to keep it as up to date as I can. And then a little bit further out, and I know they're still looking for vendors and whatnot. You have the National Hemp Expo that's going to be going on in Louisville. That's April 13th and 14th. If I go down, I'm going to be there possibly on the 14th. I know I have another event on the 13th, and so I won't be able to make it then. But I'm hoping to get down there on the 14th and see what they're going to have involved with that. They have a Facebook event online, and so you can get their information online. And if you want to get involved with them or get more details on that, and again, that's Kentucky Hemp Organics is hosting that event. That's a Louisville. I know they're affiliated with some Louisville-based companies, processors, wholesalers, and product people using Kentucky-grown hemp. And so, I think that, I think that, and again, if we can, hopefully they are going to get, those farmers and whatnot, because those are the people, people want to be educated on the farming part of it, because they want to get to farming it, even if they're not in everywhere but Ohio, then they can. And so, and then, I hope that they get, a good line of a good range of hemp products and booths showing off all kinds of different hemp products. Obviously a lot of times these events kind of turn into CBD related events because the CBD products are so hot. But, even if there's only 3 actually, non-CBD, some fiber or something product there, it's still showing, all the great things that industrial hemp can do at all its levels. That's the best we can hope for as we keep moving this industry forward. We keep moving this industry forward. This I like to call it this 10,000-year-old brand new industry that we have here in America. And so, that kind of segues into I didn't get any questions online. I know it's difficult, so I'm basically just kind of making up questions. This does have someone did just mention this online, and I had to correct them as to how wrong they were, and how uneducated they were on industrial hemp as an actual as an agricultural product, not everything but the flower. And again, that happens, sometimes people associate hemp with all of the flower of cannabis. And now, to make it even more confusing, is we can have industrial hemp flower as a product, high CBD, low THC. And so that is kind of confusing things even more, because I always used to say in my speeches that hemp requires no herbicides and no pesticides. Well, that's kind of changed now that we have industrial hemp for CBD, because when growing for flower, you may actually have a pesticide problem. I haven't seen a whole lot of it, but I'm sure it's something that the flower growers may be dealing with. Every other byproduct of when grown for industrial hemp doesn't need that, because even if a grain harvest gets infested with aphids, it doesn't matter. Spider mites doesn't matter. They filter the seed and they clean the seed, and the spiders go off in the waste of the rest of the stalk or whatever. And so there is no other pest that bothers the end result of industrial hemp, unless you're growing for CBD flower, possibly. So that's not the controversial, or that's not the question I actually came up with for the Ask Beach Anything segment of the show. That question is, in fact, is hemp hard to harvest? And the question is, no, not really. Honestly, not anymore. Simple tweaking to, and this was something that was really neat. One of the speakers at the Ohio Industrial Hemp Summit was into farming machinery. Okay, they weren't selling necessarily hemp farming machinery, but that was their family business, was farming machinery, or that was his business. And he went through this range of, yes, you can purchase a $200,000 combine with the right part in front of it on a large scale if you really want to get that big, up to $1 million. But modern machinery can easily be tweaked to handle any size crop. And that being said, he talked about on a large scale, he talked about a $200 machine that you can buy online, that some of the Chinese use, some of the smaller scale, tighter, where they can't get the machine in there, and they're actually harvesting for fiber, which is a little different. They might be just using this little, product that you might make fun of because it's an as seen on TV thing, but it's, highly functional with a sharp blade. And that's all it would really take. Obviously, again, I don't care what you're doing. If you're using the right machinery, the job is so much easier. And that's the thing with industrial hemp. And this was something that I've said for 20 years as well in my speeches. I guarantee you go back to one of my speeches I gave 20 years ago, and I said, when the United States gets back into growing industrial hemp, we will take all those ancient technologies and we will make modern technology to make this a more utilized plant. And that's what we're seeing. At the Hemp Summit, I told people, I know for a fact, I know people that are filing for patents as we speak for machinery that will make processing hemp easier for any one specific reason. And so, good for those people. Good for those people that are saying, hey, you know what? Hemp's being grown in the United States. we're going to figure out a way to make it easier to process it, to make it more economical, even though, it's economical for them now. Especially with the grain and the CBD, obviously. And again, it's funny with the CBD, they've an existing machine that's been around forever that basically just rips the plant out of the ground, puts it on a conveyor belt, and throws it in the back of the truck. That's existed for smaller plants, and where they want the whole plant to come up for a while. And so once again, the technology already exists, the machinery already exists to harvest this plant, again, small scale to large scale. And so, it was labor intensive 100 years ago. And that's one of the reasons why they say it lost out. The cotton gin was making processing cotton easier, and the cotton gin kind of preceded the hemp decortator, which did come along. The machine to break the hemp, the stalk in the field, kind of came along, where it kind of took the hemp and zigzagged it through this big machine, but it was a little too late. And all of a sudden, once again, we all know cannabis was made illegal under the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, which included industrial hemp, and the decortator went back to, who knows what. Maybe they shipped them to China to break up hemp over there, or the bamboo too, because I can see how that might be good to do that. Anyway, so there you have it. Hemp is not hard to harvest. Been harvesting it for 10,000 years. It gets easier every day, as supply and demand of economics proves. And also, I think there's something about technology and necessity and advancement and all that stuff. Every day we're proving that hemp is a viable crop. Is another day that a machine will come along that will make it easier to process it, which is kind of the in between that we're in right now. But we're still seeing processing and manufacturing popping up all over the country, and that's why, because it's happening, and these things need to be done. And so I see we had some comments out there, John. Hemp from herd to toe. It's true. He's a warrior. You just spoke in an event in a big church, and that was beautiful, man. I would love to get my preach on. I've always kind of felt like either a snake oil salesman or a preacher snake oil salesman, for all the things hemp can do and how glorious I make it sound. So, but that was good. Tyra visited the stores a couple times. Thank you. We appreciate our customers more than anything, because we wouldn't exist without them. That's for sure. My boy Ron down in, I don't know if he's in Florida. Who knows where that cat is these parts, but he's Beach the Great Hemp Ambassador, which is funny because I just took on an ambassadorship with the Ohio Rights Group. Kind of, they're doing these ambassadors, and so I need to get them my bio, by the way. And of course, I hooked up with them way back with the Ohio Cannabis Rights Amendment, which did include the legalization of industrial hemp. 5 years ago, man, I can't even keep up. That was a while. And they're still out there doing their thing for cannabis and all its worthy purposes. And so I was happy when they asked me if I would be a hemp ambassador.
That's cool.
And, I feel like that's what I've always been anyway. Hempassador. Can make it one word like we like to do with hempassador. Yes. And I'm sure we can twist that in some way. Now that I'm saying it in my head.
Carrie
badass
also loving her products.
Or what,
Carrie on Facebook loving her products
what?
as well from Hemptations. Obviously, thank you to everybody who watches live on Wednesdays, noon Eastern time, on the Hemptations Beach page, and interacts and all that. You've you've witnessed the first season, and now you're witnessing season 2, and well, I think it's much better. I don't know. What do you think, Beach?
It's much better.
It's much
I feel I'm much more comfortable up here.
yes.
So, that being said, folks, we will bid you adieu. Hemptations.com for all kinds of good stuff. Facebook pages, Twitter, all that we know. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations.
Absolutely. And make sure, if you're in the Cincinnati area, to check out Hemptations. And if you're just driving through, just stop by. You all got GPS. You can punch it in there, and you can find them. It's easy.
Yeah, conveniently located by both major highways that come through here.
Yes. If I find out you came through and you didn't stop by, well, we're going to have problems. I don't mind mincing words with you. You have to answer to me.
It's tragedy. It's be tragic. Don't do that, folks. I'm telling you. You don't want it.
That'd be awful.
The wrath of Stoner Jesus will come down on you.
Plagues and all sorts of things, and locusts and frogs, and there's a whole book about it. You may have heard of it.
It's a whole book. All right, folks.
See you all
There's
next week.
enough of that. Peace.
Peace.